Students, this is the video for Friday, September 19th, solving with variables on both sides of the equal sign. Till now we've just had x's either on the left or on the right, and our goal is always to get them onto the left, but we haven't had them on both sides, so the rules that we look at today will kind of focus on getting them to the left-hand side and getting it solved. So let's get into the problems. On this video, I'm only going to do half of the problems, and you're going to have to do the other half. So, you must do all problems. Whether I do them or not, you have to do them. Okay? Because I'm going to leave some for you to do because I want you to be able to practice on your own. Step 1 says simplify both sides of the equal sign. So I'll draw my line down here. Then I look at the left side and I look at the right side and I see that there's no simplification to occur. 2x plus 4 can't be added together and 3x plus 1 can't be added together. Okay? So then my next goal is to move variables to the left side of the equation by adding or subtracting. So I want them, all my x's on the left side. So this one on the right side, I'm going to move it. So I do minus 3x. And then I'm going to line it up underneath this one because those are like terms. 2x minus 3x is negative 1x. Bring down the plus 4, bring down the equals. Those cancel, 1. So my goal was to get all the x's on the left, and I've accomplished that goal right here in this step. My next step is move the constant or the numbers to the right hand side. So this plus 4 right here, I don't want it to be there, so I'm going to do minus 4, and it tells you each time that you're going to add or subtract to move these. Those cancel. Negative 1x equals 1 minus 4 is negative 3. And then the last step says divide by the coefficient, which is the number next to the variable. So I'm going to divide by negative 1. Remember in class we told you when it's beside it, you divide it. So those cancel. X equals negative 3 divided by negative 1. You type it in the calculator just like that, and you get positive 3. Okay. To check our work, we do just like we did the other day. We take this 3, but now we have two places to plug it in. We've got to plug it in on that side and on this side. So we do 2 times 3 plus 4, and we're checking to see is that equal to 3 times 3 plus 1. 2 times 3 is 12, plus 4 is, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10, and that lets me know that I did it correctly. Okay? Your turn to do this one. First thing you're going to do is draw that down. Minus 3a to both sides, and then I'll let you go from there. You can pause the video here and finish that problem up. Make sure you check your work on this side. Alright, I draw my line down. Step 1 is simplify the left and simplify the right. This time I do have some work to do. I can see these parentheses are what require some attention. This is the distributive property, so there's the distributor. 10 times r is 10r. Minus 10 times 8 is 80. Equals, over here I also have a distributor, 3 times each one. 3 times 2r is 6r. 3 times a negative 6 is negative 18. Okay. My next step from the previous slide was to get all my variables on the left. So I don't want this 6r here, so I'm going to take it away. Minus 6r. Line it up under there. 10 minus 6r is 4r. Minus 80 equals, they cancel on that side, negative 18. Make sure you take that negative with the 18. Then I want all my numbers on the right. So I want to get rid of this, so plus 80, that cancels. I have 4r equals negative 18 plus 80. Negative 18 plus 80 is 62. And then the last step, when it's beside it, I divide it. So I divide both sides by 4. And 62 divided by 4 is 15.5. Okay. I'm going to take my calculator that I have here in my hand, and I'm going to plug this back into each one here. And let's make sure that I did it right. So 10 parentheses 15.5 minus 8 parentheses gives me 75 when I plug back in on that side. Let's try it on this side. 3 parentheses 2 times 15.5 minus 6 parentheses is also 75, and so this checks out as well. Okay, on number 4, you're going to draw your line down. These are your distributors. 2 times x, 2 times negative 5, negative 3 times x, and negative 3 times 14. You finish that problem. Pause the video right here and finish that problem, and then click continue to go on to the next one. Alright. Draw our line down on number 5. Okay. I see some parentheses. I need to deal with those first, so I'm going to distribute that. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. I didn't use the rest of this, so I'm just going to bring it down to the next line. Alright. Now I see I have some x's over here that need to be combined, so I'm going to combine like terms. Negative 2 plus 3 is positive 1x plus 8 equals 2x plus 9. Okay. Now I have variables on both sides, so I want to get my variables to the left. So I'm going to move the one on the right, minus 2x, because it's a positive 2x. 1 minus 2x is negative 1x plus 8 equals, they cancel out on the right, positive 9 over here. Then I want all my numbers to the right. So minus 8 from both sides, because that was a plus 8. Minus 8, that cancels. Bring down my negative 1x. 9 minus 8 is positive 1. Last step, when it's beside it, I divide it. So divide both sides by negative 1, and you get x equals negative 1. Okay. Plug that back in up to the top and make sure that it is right. On number 6, that should be a parenthesis out there. Okay. So you're going to distribute the 2. Draw your line down. Then you're going to distribute the negative 3. And then you'll have some combining like terms to do, and then you'll finish up the problem just like we did here. Okay. Stop the video here if you need to time to work on that, but you are responsible for doing number 6. Alright. Now we have a couple of word problems. It says the Booster Club is raising funds by selling t-shirts at each athletic event. They must pay the manufacturer $120 plus, so that looks important, plus looks important, $4.50 for each. We know that usually deals with multiplication. And then they sell for $7 each. How many t-shirts do they need to sell? So we know it's an equation. So let's take this side of it. It's $120 plus $4.50 for each t-shirt. So let's just call it, we can call it T for t-shirts. And we want to know when is that equal to $7 per t-shirt. Draw our line down, and this is going to be a pretty simple one to solve. We said we want to move our variables to the right, so we're going to minus 7t to both sides. Bring down our 120. 4.5t minus 7, so 4.5 minus 7 is negative 2.5t. And this cancels out and leaves me with 0 on the right. Then I want my numbers to go towards the left, towards the right-hand side, so I minus 120 from both sides. That cancels. I bring down my negative 2.5t. 0 minus 120 is negative 120. Divide both sides by negative 2.5, because when it's beside it, I divide it. And t equals, I believe, 48. Let me type it in real quick and make sure. Negative 120 divided by negative 2.5 is 48. If we plug that back in, 7 times 48 is $336. And 120 plus 4.5 times 48 is also $336. So that checks out. Right, the last problem is pretty straightforward. There's the words, but it's not a real world problem. We see 4 times a number plus 2. So 4, a number is x plus 2 is equal to 4 less than, we talked about that, gets moved to the back. 4 less, so minus 4. 6 times a number is 6x. So our equation is 4x plus 2 equals 6x minus 4. Draw your line down. You'll start by moving the minus 6x, because we always want to move them to the left. And you guys can stop the video here and finish that problem up. Make sure you bring all problems finished. Okay? Even if it's wrong, I want you to finish every single problem on the video.